Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. So I've been going through a bunch of my old, well, not that old, less than 3 months old, programs that I was putting together while I was in the hospital. And I came across the program that was day -1 or the day before transplant. And it sheds a little light into my mindset and kind of where I was at, not only mentally, but you can also see physically where I was at as well. I still had my trifusion, and I wanted to share this with you all because this is a pretty important time through the mix of the transplant that kind of sheds the light into what is really going on in my head. For the most part, I'm really optimistic, but there's definitely some fear because obviously at this point there's no turning back. So yeah, I wanted to share this with you so that you all can kind of get a little bit more, better glimpse even, into that stage of the transplant. So without further ado. It's been a busy morning. Today is day -1, which means that my chemotherapy is done, which I'm so thankful for at the moment. And with that said, the last part of my conditioning treatment is today, and that is full body radiation. From what I understand, it's not as scary as it sounds, but it is a fraction of the amount of radiation that I got in November last year when we were trying to beat it with radiation. From what I understand and from what I've been told, I was given through that whole course of treatment about 48 rad. You guys can get on my case in the comments below, but it was 48 or 46 rads or something along whatever the unit of radiation is, the ionized radiation that they give you for it. And in today's deal, I'm getting 2 rad. So I'm going to get 2 rad at radiation. I'm such a dork. So yeah, so that's the last part of my conditioning treatment going forward here. I will have 2, I believe, smaller rounds of chemotherapy on day 3 and day 4. And that has to do with dealing with the graft versus host disease. And the whole thing is just making sure that we keep that as at a minimum, really. From what I understand, that little bit of chemo will help with grafting, the grafting of the new stem cells into my bone marrow. So it's kind of exciting, kind of crazy, and nerve-wracking at the same time. More nervous for my brother just because I know he's excited to get it done. He's excited to give me his stem cells and all this, and he has to sit still for a little while. He doesn't sit still very well. So but yeah, harvesting happens tomorrow morning on day 0, and yeah, Friday or Thursday, October 29th is going to be a new birthday for me, which is tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. But it's been a busy morning, obviously getting nurses and everyone kind of coming in. Things are starting to ramp up. My morning meds all happened. The lady that physical therapy came by gave me just instructions. A lot of it has to do with how my platelets work, or what my platelet counts can come at there. So I have to be super careful until my platelet counts get really above 20,000 parts. So that's kind of the deal there. I can basically just do simple moves, simple exercises. The goal while I'm neutropenic is to just keep my body moving. So I may not be able to get on the stationary bike at all, but with that said, there's other activities and other simple exercises that I can do that will help really just keep my body moving. That and just making sure that I keep eating well is the big thing. So that's kind of the weird thing about being in the hospital about this. You know, everything is just, you know, there at the push of a button. And I actually talk about this, why it's so hard to transition back after being in the hospital for so long, because everything is just catered to you. So I'll put a link above here to a video that I did about that, because it's going to be a difficult transition. Other than that, man, I'm excited for tomorrow. You know, like I said, obviously I'm nervous, got butterflies. It's okay, because it's going to be a good thing. Yeah, my radiation happens at around noon, just really waiting on the call to go down and get it happening. It's going to take about 20 minutes from what I understand, so not very long, and that's kind of what I know about it. My nerves are getting a lot better, feeling a little bit more secure about it all, and I've been optimistic through the whole thing, but you know, there's so much going on with it that it's just tough. I do know that, like, one of the discussions I had with, totally blanking on it, and it was yesterday. This is the thing about chemo brain that sucks, is it really, I remember this conversation with, it was with my psychologist. So there's a transplant psychologist at work. So I had a conversation with my psychologist, Dr. Brewer, and he was telling me about how my particular regimen is really, I guess, kind of on the light side, which is I'm so thankful for. And it has to do with really my age and how my fitness and everything is at. Apparently, people that are younger have to go through a much harder regimen when they do an allogenic transplant, and I would take a gander that it's because everything is so, you know, at 18 years old, say if you get diagnosed with Hodgkin's, whatever, and you have to go through an allogenic transplant, or say like leukemia or something, you go through this, they have to do so much more work in order to really suppress the immune system and get the immune system in remission. So I guess for me it's not as hard, but I guess because of my history also, and the amount of treatment that I've done up to this point has really kind of helped with making it all work. So it was kind of interesting talking to him about that, and I don't know, you know, I know that I'm in good hands with my team, and I'm in a great hospital that is known for this too. So it feels a lot better. I feel a lot more at ease right now than I did the last couple days, and I think it's just also knowing that I'm slowly making it further and further along this path. Now I'm going to be in the hospital for the next 2 weeks minimal before I get to go to Brent's place. Yeah, day -1. If you have any comments or questions, please hit me in the comment section below. And if you have obviously any requests, I've been getting a couple good ones lately, and I will work on those also. And I just appreciate your guys' time and energy into watching the videos. I appreciate you coming along on this journey with me, because it's a pretty interesting one for sure. And even though I've been through a stem cell transplant, 10 years ago, I am still learning a lot about this, especially all the newer technology and all the newer stuff that's happening along with it all. So thank you. I appreciate you coming along this journey with me. So have a great afternoon, and I'll see you on the next video.